Official mods are rare in the sim racing world, but today I proudly get to introduce you to a new one. Say hello to the TECHART GTstreet R. That's TECHART or TECHART, depending on where in the world you might be, and it doesn't take an automotive purist's eye to see that this is based on a Porsche 911, the 992 Turbo S to be specific, and we've seen custom tuner Porsches in the past from names like Singer and Roof, and now TECHART is bringing their own. There's only 87 examples in the world currently, and each is bespoke and customized by hand. The final power output is 800 horsepower and 950 newton meters of torque, and yes, it's road legal. It goes 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds and has a top speed of around 350 kilometers an hour. TECHART has offered the official Assetto Corsa mod for free on their website, and I've left a link below in the description. It's got an absurd power output and active DRS, and this is surely one of the fastest road legal Porsches, if not the fastest road legal Porsche in my collection. So let's go for a drive. Alright, so here we are at Monza on board the TECHART GTstreet R. And we're just going to turn some laps here through a bunch of other supercars out here. We'll see if they can keep up, or if I can keep up. We'll see how it plays out. Got a couple of Ferraris, a couple of Lambos. What else we got? Pagani, Porsche. So it should be a fun one. I've got the speed, tachometer, turbo boost, and a little lap timer in the top left corner of your screen in case you're wondering how fast this TECHART GTstreet R is. Now, on that note, it might be slower than you're expecting. So those with a keen eye might have seen when I threw the stats up on the screen earlier that this thing weighs 1,670 kilograms. That's a comparatively heavy car for the size of the footprint of the car. So it does limit what it can do, because the obvious place to take this out would be the Nordschleife, and I'm sure there will be calls in the comments for me to do exactly that. But I think the timing around the Nordschleife will be less impressive than you might think. I have seen other people take this car out in Assetto Corsa, and they ran somewhere around the 7-minute 30-second mark. So yeah, not perhaps what you'd expect. Where this car does its best work is in a straight line and in straight braking. Around the corner, you feel that inertia, you feel the car's, weight, in the mid-corner. It does tend to understeer. You'll probably see it around Parabolica here momentarily. So turn-in response is excellent, but then you get that. See, the weight of the car just kind of carries it around. Now, I will say, it's not as if TECHART really juiced this mod and made it capable of just completely unrealistic things here in Assetto Corsa. It does feel like they gave this fairly accurate performance, and I gotta say I'm very impressed with it, because it's tempting. We've seen official mods in the past. The one that comes to mind first and foremost is the KTM Crossbow GT4, and when that was released, it was an excellent mod. But we looked at the performance, and it's just like, this does not line up with other GT4 cars whatsoever. And it turns out they made their GT4 car not homologated to GT4 specs. So it was just kind of the maximum potential of the car without consideration to the racing series that it's in. So they were just kind of deliberately juicing the performance, and that's fine. They're a manufacturer. I don't expect they would undersell the performance of their work, but at the same time kind of made the concept of a official car kind of worthless, because you're not getting the performance you would expect based on what the car actually does on track. So it was kind of an interesting thing to see, but it doesn't feel like TECHART did that. It feels like the performance here is right around what you would expect. It's not unrealistic. Car behaves nicely. You'll see there's not a lot of hard braking zones here at Monza. I'm thinking about turn 1. You'll probably see it on the next lap. But when you really jam on the brakes, that heavy rear end of the car does try and come around on you. And, you know, that's obviously realistic. And mid-corner understeer by dint of the heavy weight of the car like we're seeing exactly right now. I mean, that feels about right. And the 0 to 60 time is somewhere in the mid-2s. So it seems like the performance is spot on what they cite for the real-world model. So, yeah, overall they've done a nice job. You can see they're running 155, not a great lap time. You see that movement of the car under braking. Best I've done around Monza, ooh, with a baseline setup is somewhere around 153 in this car. So I'm sure in the right hands with a little bit of setup work, you could definitely push it to, you know, into the high 140s, I suspect. And we're coming up to the first cars. Wow, and that 812 Superfast just decided to go nuts on the braking. Come on, 812, get it going here. And I should have the braking advantage. The brakes on this car are just unbelievable. That's probably the one facet of the physics that I would bring into question. Does the real-world car actually brake this hard? If so, it's extremely impressive. It's easy to track the performance numbers. I have an app that tracks that, but not really on the braking performance. I don't know much about the real-world braking performance, so it's hard to say, but they do definitely have crazy stopping power, do these brakes. All right, we are in pursuit of some car. I can see it quite a ways in the distance there. We'll see if we can put in a good lap time here. Draw that car closer. See if I can get into the 153 range, maybe 154. And we'll just do a couple more laps after that. But yeah, strong recommendation from me. It's not bullet fast like I would expect. It's not the Nordschleife champion that I would expect, but at the same time, like I said, I feel like they didn't oversell the performance of this TECHART GTstreet R, so well done to TECHART. So good news and bad. Good news is I finally got that first chicane right. Bad news is the car I had hoped to chase is soon to be in my rearview mirror, so kind of throws away the point of this speed. Whoa, whoa. And then I understeered right through that chicane. Pardon me. Looks like a Nissan in front of me now. Won't take long to dispatch that, I'm sure. And do we have any? No, I was hoping we'd have some clear distance in front to work with to set a fastest lap, but that won't be the case. Oh, little bump there from the AI. Not happy about me overtaking, perhaps. His AI emotions got hurt. Alright, there we go. A little bit of clear distance. This will probably be a personal best, but I skipped a chicane, so this is not going to count. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Might even get a little bit of a slipstream here down the start-finish straight from this Porsche GT3 RS. Lots of movement under braking there. Wow. this car is a lot of fun. It's definitely one of my favorite ever street car mods for Assetto Corsa. I think they've done a really nice job here. I would love, it's not realistic of course, but I would love to see a track-only edition of this car. Strip out all the, you know, amenities, strip out the sat nav, strip out a whole bunch of extra weight, radio, air conditioning, all that. Get this down to like 1400, 1450 kilograms, and then see what it's like around the Nordschleife, then see what it can do on track. Because I think this engine and you know, platform just has so much potential. It's just held back by the fact that it's got so many comfort features. And I will say it's kind of like the Pagani in that regard. Paganis have, you know, insane power plants and just massive speed, but the problem is as soon as you try and turn it or brake it, it pushes back. It's just too heavy, it's just too comfortable. Alright, there's a 154 through traffic, so I'm pretty happy with that one. Alright, so we'll make this one the last lap, but strong recommendation from me. On this TECHART GTstreet R. Love to see what you guys can do with this. Take it out to the Nordschleife, post your times. Maybe here at Monza, are you getting into the 140s? High 140s? I'm sure some of you will. Yeah, it's kind of an awkward car around the corners sometimes. Tough to keep it smooth. So you're just fighting the inertia the whole time. But yeah, on this particular course, it's you know, roughly as fast as I push a GT3 car in Assetto Corsa. Problem is, the GT3 car, with a little bit of tuning work and, you know, a little bit more bravery, it's easier to push, you know, and get a few more seconds out of it. This GTstreet R, I mean, I'm pushing about as hard as I can. Not a lot more in this for me. Alright, one more corner here, Mike. Get on it. So much torque that it just pulls out of fourth gear, no problem. Alright, there we go, 153.3, so I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, that's the GTstreet R, and huge fun. Links are in the description. Thanks so much for watching.